Hey, hello folks, this is Rich Hart again. Hey, thank you very much for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about the constant drip of your business message, the relationship of prospecting, creating this message, and now taking this message and getting out to the rest of the world. I think the constant drip of your message, your business message, needs to be clear and concise. It needs to be regular. All right, and it needs to be chock full of information that's going to help people to guide them toward the decision-making process. But my question today to you is your message constant? And how are you keeping in touch with customers and client base? Are you using social? Are you using video? Are you using phone? Are you using technologies in different ways? Are you writing postcards? Many different ways themselves are reaching through prospecting and prospecting methods. Well, the question is that this whole world of prospecting, we know we need to do it. And we know it's engaging, and it could be what? Engaging future clientele and future what? Customers and clients, all right, to closing more transactions. A lot of individuals themselves out today in the real estate profession kind of push that prospecting aside. You know, I got to tell you something about prospecting. Through any business outlet and all the different types of business genres that I deal with, individuals should be prospecting at least 65% of the day. 65% of your day? That's a lot of time in prospecting, but that's a lot of time in reaching and developing relationships and knowing that we're a relationship building business, and relationships, you heard me before, are built by trust, friendship, and the levels of communication. And so dripping this message is going to be extremely important, but the first question I have to ask you out there is, what's the message? What is it you do that engages individuals already in the form of real estate? Now, let me give you some examples. Over the years themselves, I've changed my message drastically, all right, when I'm working with particular clients and newer customers, all right, into clients, all right, for real estate transactions. And I'm coming at them with two perspectives. My message is, you're going to learn so much about the process. My job here is to educate you about the process so much that you want to become a real estate professional on down the line. Now, hopefully they don't. Shh, don't tell them that. But education is going to be the number one key factor going forward. I think people themselves want to learn. I think people want to engage in the process. And it takes a very special and unique individual to do what we do, to pass that what? Proverbial multiple choice test. But within the regards themselves of engaging with these folks themselves, I think the engagement, and especially going forward, is going to be through the education. And so not only through the education, we're going to what? Start to plan, bringing planning back into it, how we're going to gauge long-term and short-term investment for you, all right? And so my new prospecting way of reaching people is through two streams. One of education, learning about the process, and two, the second one is how we're going to make this transaction an investment opportunity going forward, short-term and long-term future. And so now what we're gauging already my prospecting on, and what I'm doing to constantly drip that message, is about education and about the investment opportunity. So the big takeaway today is whatever your message is and how you're keeping in touch with different types of people, make sure it's constant, make sure it's concise, and make sure it's dripped regularly. And so you'll start to pull this out. We'd love to help you on that too, as well as really pulling out what you do. But in making and designing that message so you can drip that message is, what have you done to culminate all your experiences to this particular point that got you into real estate, that you can engage people in what you do already in a level of investment, all right, through real estate. And so those are the things themselves I think are going to be extremely important. As you go through, all right, think about this. We've heard this time and time again, if we were in any kind of marketing or developing relationship courses themselves in business, all right, and we talk about the tagline, we talk about elevator speeches. We talk about video segments, talk about social networks, talk about blogs and audio blogs and video blogs and newsletters and networking and different types of, there's so many different ways that we can reach and engage people. I think we're a relationship building business, and the relationship building business is built by three most important factors: trust, friendship, and communication. And through the level of communication, how are we going to drip that message that's going to be constant? The message that we've put together, all right, that really engages people to what? Want to act, want to make a decision, all right, and want to push forward to working with you as a real estate professional. So I think that's very important. I think it's important to sell based on the taglines, all right? It's a really small, easy, and concise to the particular point of what you do. Tagline itself for Rich Hart used to be buy now, sell now, get rich. I thought that was pretty cool. But then we shortened everything up. And when we shortened everything up, it was now get rich. And get rich came to Get Rich Realty, GetRichRealty.com, and a whole bunch of different marketing areas down the line. And so it became very funny that the tagline became some of what we do in our marketing perspectives. And I said, well, that's very engaging. And so when it got down to the tagline, we start now pushing and working and developing the relationship going forward to my elevator speech. And the elevator speech is, what can we say, all right, when we get into an elevator on the first floor? How can we engage individuals on an elevator before they get off on the second floor to get them to tell me, wow, that's very interesting, tell me more. And so that's you. That's your engagement. How do you bring that out? I help and design or educate individuals toward the investment process of real estate so they can be a clear, concise decision maker when it comes down to their next investment in real estate. And in so many words or less, it comes out that way, and people go, wow, tell me more, how do you do that? But now doing that through taglines, doing that through your elevator speeches, and now bringing it to your video segments or bringing it to your social networks and your taglines, perhaps maybe on your business cards, your blogs, your newsletters. Folks, all these things now start to get out there and infiltrate and really start to build a relationship to what it is that you do to real estate, to really creating and want to create that level of change for individuals themselves. And anybody you know as well as I do out of the 1.4 million plus, all right, they can all do what we do, but I want to start pulling out creativity. I want to start pulling out uniqueness. And what are the things themselves inside that message, even though what we're saying today is constantly dripping that business message, is going to get people to react. And that's where we want to go. Now, I believe that we're going to see a tremendous amount of change going forward of how our relationships are developed with people. Personals, our interactions, how we're going to generate conversation going forward. I'm also thinking that working through social networks, and I'm also thinking working through video. Video is going to be big. Working with video, okay, is going to be huge. And these messages that you're going to be dripping out there are going to be clear and concise, but they're going to be short and to the point, all right? Now, everybody has the tools, believe it or not. It's just the getting over that hurdle, what we call that technology hurdle, to utilizing some of those and getting it out there and utilizing. We can help you with that. You can just give us a call. You'll have information at the end of this program itself, and it'll give you some information, and we can help you because, believe it or not, folks, you do have the tools. I just now want you to engage those tools. Now, what we know about in our industry, okay, getting out there and dripping that message out there in many different ways, and now developing that message is going to be extremely important for what we do. You heard it before. 9 out of 10 people themselves love what you do, all right, whether they've done it in a past transaction, whether they've had any kind of relationship. 9 out of 10 people will use you again in a second transaction. But it's a fact itself that only 1 in 10 actually do. Why is that? Because we're not keeping in contact. We're not keeping in touch. We're not developing that relationship going forward. We're not engaging those folks continually, all right, and regularly with a constant message going forward. And those are the things themselves, hopefully, that you're going to make as a change going forward in the future. Folks, you could do your own webinars. Very inexpensive. I'm the guy who's got cheap, okay, written all over his T-shirts. And different ways and different expensive ways of doing things. Folks, don't automatically equate prospecting to cost. All right, because there are very inexpensive ways, close to nothing, to getting your name out there. Who are you marketing? You're marketing you as a professional, an individual themselves gauging in what this business message and what you can do and what you have to offer for individuals when it comes to real estate and providing decisions and opportunities going forward for investments. And so out there, whether you're and how you're reaching those individuals, just make that message clear and concise. And perhaps maybe, ready for this, maybe bring it on a 3rd grade level. Because sometimes we could be just too exhausting, all right, and too much over the edge with our message when it needs to be a lot simple. So simple. What we say is, what do we know about simple? Simple sells. And so within there, all right, whether you're doing buyer seminars, maybe taking a look at international relocations, whether you're working with different types of buyers in your farming communities, remember, maybe you've got a small database and small individuals themselves. Remember me talking about in previous, go to one of the other video segments, we talk about going out and meeting 10 people a day. And going out and meeting 10 people a day doesn't have to physically meet people. All right, the fact itself that you can go and meet people through the social sides or meet them through and conducting webinars or seminars or things of this nature. But gather the information and really make those individuals part of what you do. You know what the most important part of this prospecting is that we utilize others to prospect for us. And so one of the tools themselves that I use out there, I think it's pretty cool, I think it's pretty important out there, is that every time I go to a closing, I have my clients have a particular job. And what I do is I take 10 of my business cards, and I turn the cards over and I write 1 through 10 on the back of the business card. And then basically what I do is I take those business cards and I give them to my clients. And I says, here's your job. Your job is to hand these 10 business cards. What's unique about these 10 business cards, they're numbered 1 through 10. So that means that I have to go to 10 individuals, all right, or individual people. And they look at me, wow. I says, well, basically what it is, we want to extend what we've done for you out to others. And so if you can hand those out to 10 people, that's great, you know. And it's very funny when I get some of those calls back. And the individual say, hey, you know, I just got this business card and it's numbered on the back. I says, great. What number do you have? And they say, well, I have number 9. I said, well, that's a shame. I said, why is that? I said, because there was 8 other people in front of you that you thought that so-and-so was very important to have this card. No, I just joke around with that way. But what it's done is by labeling a number on the back of the card, gave now position for my client to hand that out because knowing that he has 10 now responsibilities. All right, to get those cards to 10 individual people. So however you work your message, however you work your prospecting, however you really start to dive down and reach and meet and work and develop this relationship with people is going to be extremely important. I think the sky's the limit. And how you drip, when you drip, and the consistency of dripping your business message is going to be extremely important, especially going forward in the new year and the years to come. So today I want to thank you. Thank you for being with me. Give you a couple of ideas and items themselves to take a look at. Any additional questions and comments that I can answer for you, please feel free to reach us at the studios here at 888-966-0878 because I'd love to continue a conversation with you to really help you, all right, and help design a plan for you going forward when it comes to prospecting and consistently driven the message. And other ways themselves, you reach us at info@richhart.com. That's info@richhart.com. Hey, thank you very much for joining me today. Love the session here, and I look forward to talking to you and meeting, working, developing a relationship with you in the near future. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.